question before we start?
Well, the question is that I know that when I was working with the group, the major element was medicinal.
Yeah.
Because what's the other term?
Recreational.
Recreational. Thank you. The recreational side was still under law. You know, it was locked out.
Yeah.
But once that door opened, it really took away the grip that the medicinal side had on cannabis.
Yeah. I think the medicinal program in New York when it rolled out wasn't the best. And I think that they tried to make it too medically stringent on how people were getting product and like the levels of product. So it definitely wasn't what people were looking for in compared to other programs in like other states. I think recreationally, they kind of just opened it with no dispensaries open, and it was kind of just a floodgate in the Wild West. So now they're starting to clean up, shutting down this illegal dispensaries, starting to open up more places. So it's getting back up to a spot, but it's definitely not where it should have been for rolling out said program.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, with us, I think that when the tribe was originally voting on it, it was just medically here in New York. So that's where we were focusing and trying to put things. But then we saw just how stringent the program was and how difficult it was for people in the medical program within New York to get access. So trying to mirror that probably would have been a little bit more difficult. So taking the recreational swing with the focus on the medicinal side of it, you know what I mean? Not just so much the recreational use, but then putting an emphasis on all the other uses of cannabis was something that we wanted to highlight. So
the basis of my question, and I hope that you guys get into it because I took it as critical when you first started talking about this whole thing, is that how cannabis opens the mind to creativity. Yeah. And if people understood that, because that's from a clinical perspective, but it's not using it as medicine. It's seeing it as an enabler. It enables you. So it builds on your gift as a human being as a way from taking away your gift as a human being.
Exactly. What's up, Beach Buds? We are back for another episode of Keeping Up with the Buds. It's your boy Sean, and as you can see, your boy Jay.
Yes, sir.
And as you can see around us, we are in a change of location and scenery for today's episode. We are fortunate enough to be in the studio and home of a very talented artist, a member of the community around here and a local by the name of Natty Dread, a man whose art and color layering is phenomenal and beautiful and brings you to totally different places. Everyone's view of these photos is never the same. Beautiful. Everyone's perspective is never the same when walking out. Very talented, and we're very happy to have this conversation with him. So again, welcomed into the home of Natty Dread, Ronald Richard. So kudos.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank you.
Beach Bud Snaps. We are welcome. So again, thank you for having us in your home today and welcoming us into your studio and allowing us to take a look into your many years of art and just your journey of life and just a little conversation. So we again thank you for this.
Yes. Cool. Well, Ron Richard is Natty Dread, the artist.
Yes, sir.
And born in Cincinnati, Ohio, as Ron Richard, and moved to Connecticut. And during that time, the movie The Cincinnati Kid was out. And people in Hartford called me Cincinnati.
Okay.
And then as I moved forward going to college, that's when Bob Marley brought out Natty Dread. And they started calling me Natty Dread.
Okay.
So Ron Richard became Natty Dread. And also while in college, I began to move into art. I took a couple of art classes. I was always into art, my family, always into art from a child. But developing your skills is a whole different story.
Definitely.
Yeah. So while developing the skills for art, during that time period, the late 60s, early 70s, we did get high.
Yes, sir.
Go. It's part of the culture.
Smoking that Chiba.
But what we did not quite understand was the difference from being high and being in an enlightened mind.
Talk about it.
Go.
And listening, I was a jazz disc jockey, and listening to Miles Davis in particular, began to understand that art moves people. And when people would look at my art, they would be moved by it.
Yeah.
And I do believe that part of what moved them was recognizing the enlightenment that the painting gave them. And then when we talk about it, we did recognize that being in that enlightened mind was a good place to be.
There we go.
And I, as I developed my talent, a lot of that development occurred while being part of Shinnecock.
Okay.
And the culture of Shinnecock appreciating what art brings to the community.
Yes.
There we go.
And so it began to see how people saw the enlightenment through the art. And then sharing that with the community and different people in the community, particularly other artists, that further enabled me that when I'm painting, what's very, very critical is how to connect.
Yeah, with those people.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
How to connect.
There we go.
And the more you look at my art, you look at what was the God-given, what was the gift. And the gift, when you look at the art, is how I do alignment. And the alignment comes from, like, for instance, you take how feathers fit into the culture of the people, how movement itself fits into the culture of the people. And that movement is not based around how much money can I make or how do I take the resources around me and just use them for myself personally, as opposed to using that development to share. And I believe that that's what cannabis does. It enables that mind to go into that area of sharing who you are.
Yeah, no, we were talking a little bit off camera before, and we were talking about cannabis. And again, we when I was talking about it, I said I didn't like to use the word influenced. You know what I mean? When I talk about your relationship with cannabis when it comes to your art, because I don't think it influences you on anything. I think it enhances what's already there. I think it uplifts what's already there. Yes. I think to use the term influence is kind of to take over. You know what I mean? And I don't think cannabis influences anything in that way. It uplifts. You know what I mean? And I think that it did a great job or a beautiful job of uplifting you, because if this is the result of your relation with cannabis to art, you know what I mean? This is amazing. So you touched on a little bit on taking, different aspects of the culture that you've now been a part of and, being a part of this and putting it in your art. But how did your love for color, obviously, and your amazing talent for being able to blend colors together and seeing these color patterns and these color waves and how they complement each other so well, where did that come from? You know what I mean? Like where does that influence come from? Whether it be your love of jazz and music, and you see the flow of things, does the flow of things and kind of that kind of waviness help when it comes to setting ideas for colors and stuff like that?
I would say that my spiritual connection is major. And when some people see a painting, they may see a picture of a barn, they may see a picture of a person, but that picture is what's already there because they've seen it physically. When you see my art, it's not already there because it's never been here before. And that's what the cannabis does. It enables to go through another door that most people only go through the door of physical. If they can't physically relate
see
to
it
it
and
yeah,
reflect on it,
That
then
never happened.
it doesn't happen. But what I do particularly when painting is, if you saw something in outer space, how do you bring that to someone here without them, like some people talking about aliens and they freak out. Oh, look at those aliens over there. And the first thing they would want to do is to shoot it down. No, don't look at my art and see it as an alien.
Yeah.
See it as a new beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm sharing with you a place that I've gone to and experienced, and I'm sharing it with you so that we can experience it together.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful way to look at it. And again, looking at this art, you can definitely see that experience and that way of definitely looking at something new and being able to see all the different layers to it and all the different creative components. Like you said, it's like nothing you've ever seen before, because every time you look at it, you're seeing something different almost.
Yeah.
You know
But
what
I
mean?
do see one thing that I see in all of them is people. You know, I see a blend of different variations of different people from different cultures, I see just also how your enlightenment of being connected with cannabis when you may or may not be doing your art, that it if you are, right, and partaking in cannabis during that time or before that time, how you were saying how it enlightens other people, right? It enlightens them in a different way because they might not be they might not be, consuming at that point in time, but when they see the art, they immediately become like, oh wow, like astonished, enthused.
They're almost transcended into that. You know what I mean? They're
into
brought
that
into it
space.
without having to
And
be a
that's
part of it. You know?
That's a different kind of enlightenment.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of story to tell, a different kind of place that it brings people in. And like it's almost important to deep dive into where these ideas of what you see or what you've done, where do they bring you during that course in time? Like, is there any, like, when you're doing the art, when you're creating certain set pieces, are you emotionally feeling a certain way when you're making them? Are there like any kind of like proud, or I'm feeling sad? Like, how do you kind of translate your art in that sense?
Yeah, that's not easy.
No,
to respond to.
But you can see it within the person's
the
imagery,
expressions in the art. You can
exactly.
Yeah, no, legit.
Because it's telling a story still without needing to tell a written story out. You know what I mean? Like,
if I can answer it the best way I can.
Yeah.
That when the two of you came, I immediately tune into you through your expression, your comments, but more than anything, how you're looking at it. And you said something a moment ago that I think is critical. And when this is over, I'm going to ask you to do it. There are faces.
Oh, yeah.
So
many faces.
So many faces.
Expressions of faces, different parts of faces, two faces together. They're just there's just so many layers to each photo. Yeah. And it's crazy. Like you said, the first time I came down here into the studio, into this space, I grew up, you know what I mean, coming to your house as a boy. My older brother and your son Daniel were friends. Yeah. And I spent time running around this house and in this yard, and you know what I mean? Never did I know that this was here in the basement. Yeah. Never did I know that this art was here. Never did I know that this creative space was here, that this was taking place. And it's so crazy to me that, you know what I mean, that you never know what someone is doing. Yeah. You never know what someone's capable of. You never know what someone's talents are. You never know what someone's got going on. And to be able to be exposed to this and to be open into this, I'm honored. And it's really awesome that we're getting to be able to show some more of this and bring some more of this to light. So this is I'm a fan of no limits, you know. Yeah. I hate limitations. And it's nice to see that a lot of the people from our nation are starting to, or have been, thinking that way too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whether it be never
within
hindered. We've never been hindered, and we're seeing it from the older generations above us, you know.
Whatever their art, whatever it may be, if they are into it, they lean in heavy with it,
and they find a way.
And they find a way to get it done, and that's the perseverance and the fortitude between the community. Because we've had to rely on each other for a long period of time, or rely on yourself for a long period of time, just to make things happen, make dreams happen, make anything that you want to do in life happen. You know what I mean? It takes that, so believing in yourself, saying like I'm sure the first test run of you painting or anything, it wasn't easy, right? It wasn't wasn't like, oh man, I'm
the next Picasso.
I'm fucking good at this.
I'm the next Basquiat. Look at me go.
I'm good at this.
One of the things that is I felt critical about the community when I first started coming here. Everybody waved to each other.
Absolutely.
And they smiled to each other. They greeted one another.
Absolutely.
And that was a demonstration of community.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I just moved off of here, and I had to get into the habit of not waving into everyone that I drive past on my block. And I'll just be like, hey, and they're just looking at me like, who is that? And I'm like, oh yeah, we don't know each other. Sorry. Yeah.
It's nice to see though when you are in town or somewhere else, and someone's just like, what up? Yeah. I'd be like, oh, all right, you're decent.
Yeah.
There it is. You're a normal person, I guess. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what's up. What age did you really start kind of like diving into art though?
You said around college, right?
Yeah, I always, because my family, they're into art.
Right.
But so I always did some level of art, but more from a sketching perspective. Plus, when I left high school, I did do art in high school, but in school.
Yeah.
When I was out of school, I was always working. My father was a contractor, construction, drywall contractor. So I always worked. So there was no time to get into the art. Although, and I'll show you where we go upstairs, I'll show you that the ceiling upstairs, we did stucco.
Okay, yeah.
So when I was doing the stucco, I was putting designs in it.
I was gonna say,
that was
creating a whole mark on it.
Yes, and the builder. One time I did that. The builder came in and he saw that, and he said to my father, he says, "John, you did that?" He said, "My son." He says, "Could you do all of the walls like that?"
Above his times. He was out there making architectural design moves before it was a thing,
Absolutely. And also when I was in high school, my desire was to become an architect.
Okay.
So I was always into building designs and so on. But once I started taking art in college, the art instructor, he paid attention to your own gift, your style. Yeah. And that's where the lines
hone in on that. That was my next question is like, what kind of base is this? Like, what kind of art do you consider this? Like, what do you use?
Surrealism.
Okay.
Surrealism and acrylic is the paint that I use is acrylic. Why? Because when I first start my paintings, I just start off with water. I just spray water all over the canvas.
Right.
Then I take the paint straight out of the tube and go over the canvas with it, and movement becomes important because movement is what begins a face. Movement is what begins a figure.
A feature.
Yeah.
Yes.
It gives shape.
That's right. It gives shape. Then once it dries, I sit back and I stare at it, and that's where cannabis does become important.
There you go. You see what's in there.
Yes. My music, the jazz, that becomes important.
There we go.
And now I'm sitting back, allowing creativity to come to me.
All right.
Yeah.
And then I have to allow that door to open in the mind that's saying, this is good.
There you
This
go.
is good.
This is it.
And
Yeah, I rock with this.
I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
that's the like creative process for a lot of artists and across all mediums. I feel like they have to wait for, it comes to them. It's like something from, again, like you said, on the other side of that door that is there for you, that you have personal access to, that's yours, you know what I mean? That you open, and then there it is. It's like something's there waiting for you, you know what I mean? It's so crazy that the human mind is like capable of that, you know what I mean? And we're all capable of kind of compartmentalizing that same idea, you know what I mean? That's like, because that's a crazy thing to think, like, what do you mean there's a door and you open the door and then there's something creative there waiting for you? Like, no, that's really seems to be the process for people. And that's crazy, that of course cannabis can be a channel or a vessel into that creative space, and it helps.
It's
it
a
helps
gateway drug.
no, the drug of creativity and awesomeness, you know what I mean?
But to even call it a drug,
exactly.
Yeah, no,
it's misrepresented.
It is. It completely is. Completely is.
Menacing. It's ominous when
that's why I said the term influence. The term influence is it's harsh for me. I feel like, it's influence. Like, we mean something influenced me. No, man, it helped me. It guided me along, as we said earlier, the path that's laid before us. You know what I mean? Because we all have paths that are laid before us, but we all have to walk those paths.
Gotta walk the path.
And we all experience them in different ways. We may stray off a little bit. We may bumper, you know what I mean? So maybe some roots overgrown on that path or a brick out of place, but you know what I mean? We're all on a path, and we get there through these different channels, and you found yours through art and through this. This is beautiful.
I think one of the areas, if I was reading you correctly, that I don't know if you know that I was in the ministry.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Certified minister.
You used to, if I'm not mistaken,
Church of God in Christ on the Hill.
On the Hill, yeah. I remember went there as a kid.
Yes.
With you on Sundays and with Daniel. Yes. I remember that.
And what becomes critical is that religion closed doors to a lot of our natural selves. And the idea is to harness you and put borders around you.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to remove those borders is to become open-minded. You got to open that door so that the gifts of the true spirit can come in. Not that it's about materialism. And when we get stuck in materialism, we lock the door to inventing. We lock the door to development,
to creativity and possibility,
all of those things. And what becomes important is for us to welcome other people, their thoughts, their beliefs, and so on. And you said that a lot of the faces, you can see the different cultures in those faces. It's not just one face.
No. Absolutely.
It's world.
Yeah.
It's world.
Yeah, we're people. We are all people on this.
People like to be represented,
rock.
Right? Like when you look at some of the artwork, you're like, wow, you could almost put yourself sometimes in those paintings, right? Living through those scenarios. And even if you are of African descent, indigenous descent, the Caucasus Mountains descent, you know what I mean? They all get enlightened at a sense of like, people, community, everything takes. I'm always like what I talk about a lot about LBH and a lot of what the mission story and the mission drive for Little Beach Harvest is: community involvement, community engagement, things of bringing everyone together, because we all have those different faces on these paintings,
and that's how we built this relationship.
You're able to bring a group of people into an area who are open-minded or enlightened by this cannabis plant, whether it be for medicinal, recreational, or just a little bit of both. You know what I mean? It's you have all these people that come here or come to LBH, come to Shinnecock in general, and just want to feel a part of something. One, have trust, reassurance. Two, and have community You know, you have so many different people that come from all these different backgrounds, Europe, Florida, all kinds of crazy places that people come from. And they're like, wow, in Florida, it's medical still, you know, so they don't have this kind of environment or that community conversation because
it's fearful. They're still, you know what I mean, in the dark about it.
So then we have, and then we deal with all these other places that may be 100% recreational or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, we do it like this too, but we don't have this, what you guys have, you know, where they're able to go outside and chill and smoke and relax and maybe share a lighter with somebody, share a joint with somebody who could be a doctor, who could be a painter, who could be anything of the sort right next to them, and then you build that whole conversation piece, and then you build the creative flow of, hey, like, well, I'm into this. What are you into?
Collaboration,
just off, hey, like, I like sativas. Oh yeah, me too. What are you smoking? Exactly. You know what I mean?
Conversation starter,
and then it goes hand in hand like that. And that's the collaboration, like you said, of people and community, and the whole goal of what we're trying to do here is also bring out the just awareness of our people around us who are also pro like just being enlightened, being just informational, being an educator into a place where there might not be that of, or lack thereof, I should say.
It took you know, us doing the art show at LBH at Little Beach, us trying to do more events, and us trying to create, as you're saying, this space.
Shouts out to LICC.
Shouts out to LICC.
My boy Gary out on there, Hugo, man. My boy Hugo, Jen.
Yeah, there you go, Kurt, the team. So shout out to the people that, again, helped us put that event together. And it takes us, again, as you're saying, building a community, doing events like that at Little Beach to build relations like this, because that's how we got in touch with Ron and found out about his art, was trying to find members of the community to create a space for them to showcase their talent, to showcase their art. And again, it's crazy that known this man basically my whole life, never knew that this was here. And through Little Beach Harvest and the work that we're trying to do and the community that we're trying to build, I was able to learn about a whole nother aspect of this gentleman's life, you know what I mean? And connect to him on a different way and learn from him on a different level and have these kind of conversations. And it takes a community and a spot like Little Beach Harvest to do things like that.
And it's nice that a lot of the people who actually put us in touch with Ron were from LBH and of the community.
Yeah,
you know, like, hey, why don't you reach out? Like,
and he reached out. He took it upon himself and the initiative to want to, again, be a part of something bigger than himself and be an opportunity to showcase his art. And he took a huge leap on even wanting to be a part of something like that with us. And we're grateful for it. And look, here we are a few months out, getting this awesome episode done, having this awesome conversation, seeing what more can be built from it again.
We're
building
buds,
the
guys.
community.
That event,
we're buds.
We're buds.
That event was excellent.
Thank you.
And there were people here that I knew, never knew that they did
X, Y,
like
and Z.
baskets or different other
pillows, weaving,
all
kinds
the
of
beadwork,
things,
all the different kinds
all of that.
photography.
That was great. That was great.
Yeah,
it's culture basically just shoved in your face around
our culture
here.
transcends.
So
people think cultural things and people think traditional, and they don't see the higher end of it. They don't see the higher scale. They don't see just how fine it really is, just how much effort and art goes into something. When they think traditional art, they think craft fair thing.
Yeah.
And no offense to that. If that's the level of art that you're at, that's what you're creating. That's awesome. Keep doing it. Keep producing you. I'm not knocking it. But to say that what people in the tribe are just capable of that is total no, it's false.
That's
you
the
know what I mean?
limitations.
And being
I don't
in
like.
this space shows that we can, as you said, create a space of your own to show a higher quality and caliber of things, to show that you are doing things at a different level, you know what I mean? And just being able to do things. So again, like you said, there's members of our community, man, that are capable of a lot of things.
And they just need the time to show that, you know? There's so many other they just need sponsors They just
Yeah.
need us. They just need us there.
They
I
just
got
need some
y'all,
buds.
bro.
They just need
Y'all
some
just
good
need
buds.
out
Fist
here,
bump.
man. I got y'all.
But you know,
Get it.
one of the things that future wise, and you mentioned crafts fairs. I participated in a couple,
Mm-hmm.
but I went in as an artist. But what we discovered, not only me, other artists, that you can't have a booth where you're selling a product for $25 and you're looking at paintings that cost $900.
Yeah.
That don't work.
So the audience,
Don't work.
completely different.
It
So putting on something for the high end viewer, these have to be people who understand paintings and art. And how do you invite that group to their own event?
Yeah.
Is part of what happened at the fair, that art festival.
The Hamptons Arts Fair.
Yeah, the people going to that art fair, they know those paintings are in the thousands.
Yeah.
They know that.
98,000,
Yeah.
100,000.
So they come prepared to pay
Exactly.
for something like that. Whereas the arts and crafts people, they don't expect to sell anything beyond $100.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's two totally different markets, and again, it's all about a level to a respect on where you're at, and knowing the market that you're at, and knowing the value of your art and your craft and your efforts, and it's definitely awesome to be able to provide a space where we can showcase everything from higher levels to lower levels to
Exactly
to the whole scale of it all.
Yeah.
Even down to
important.
dance. We even had people dancing.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
we
it was
definitely just
all-
try
it
to
was-
incorporate everything into it.
Prayer, all that, because it's the one other part about how we kind of like to, we don't always get a chance to, but the way that we would like to always start our events is giving that culture and that education beforehand, whether it be like a 420 event, whether it be, an art event or a cannabis car show, whatever the case may be. We kind of want people to get a dose of the culture. We don't want to stuff it down your throat and like make this into a museum, a history museum or something like that. But it's important to, at least I always say, for you to know where you're at, who you're doing business with, who you're talking to, who you're working with, who's in your community. It's important to make those kinds of strides and those engagements with everyone. That way there isn't ever a question about who's on your side when they show up to your place.
Yeah.
I like to educate even the brands that we work with, if they have people come by, like reps for them, anything like that. Like, it's important. Anybody who we do business with in the future or now, they're always briefed upon what kind of
Cultural
place
awareness
that they're walking into, that things may not be the same as where they are or where
we
they
do
work,
business
because
in a different way
it's
because
a little
of who we
different.
are.
Yeah. So but that's just how our people are set, but we are working to better me and you specifically, I know for a fact, are working to build our communications and involvement outside of our territory, and build and bring back. I think that was another valid thing that we saw from the dealings with LICC and the people who they had, and getting us in the Hamptons Arts Fair, all our connections from in there, and then bringing them back to our art show to have them put pieces up. We brought other communities outside and brought them
Definitely.
to Shinnecock to basically be a part of our mission, because our mission is to build and grow with each other, because it's not just like, it is just Shinnecock, but it's going to take more than that. What I mean? Just to spread a message, it takes a lot more than just one group of people. It takes millions. It
We're
takes
part of the
thousands.
greater
It takes-
community at Hold. You know
For
what
sure,
I mean?
yeah.
Like, yeah, we are Shinnecock and we are here, but
That's
we
right.
are a part of this community. You know,
Mhm.
we, like I said, we went to Southampton High School. We work here in town. We,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're, you know, from outside the community, now a member of the community. We are all a different group of people just working at this together. And it's going to take all of us showcasing our talents, all of us coming together as a community, all of us putting the education, the knowledge that we have forward in order to, you know, make it and move forward and try to get to a better status for all of us as a community.
Yes.
For sure.
You know, it's going to take conversations like this
Yeah.
too to, you know, spread information and to spread knowledge and to just spread, you know, the general feeling and consensus that we have as a community. You know what I mean? To get this kind of information out there, I think is important and positive.
Well, Shinnecock was Shinnecock before anybody left Europe and headed in this direction.
Facts.
And Shinnecock is still Shinnecock
That's a
after all
fact.
those years those other folks have been here. So
That's a fact.
taking your young mind and what you guys are saying, the outside is coming, whether you lock the door or not. It's
Yeah,
coming.
It's there.
And the thing is, don't lock yourself in
Mhm.
from growing to where you can be.
Yeah.
See,
Exactly.
where the way we raise our family, our kids, is that yes, you are Shinnecock, but you're much more than that.
Yeah.
Much more.
A person.
Because you have not developed into your individual self as much as you can as time goes on.
Mhm.
But you got to have an open mind, not to shut yourself in and think that your only existence is a history.
Yeah.
You're much more than that history. But that history enabled you
To
to have a
where we are.
springboard.
Yeah. No, I agree. And as you're saying, a history, you got in art, you've been doing art for 50, 40 plus years. So how have you seen the changes in times and the changes in the community and society? How does that reflect on your art? How does that, I know that may be a hard question to also say, but, you know, from looking at a piece that you did, you know, back in the 70s and 80s to where you were at that point in your life, can you see the difference in your art from something that you do now? You know what I mean? Or do you
Yes.
think that it just kind of gradually flows?
Well, a little bit of all of that. You know, what's I would have to go through paintings
Yeah.
maybe at another time, but how I put lines in to mimic how a feather would look.
Mm.
You know, over here you see the pottery against the wall over there. How when you look at that pottery, it is not real. It's not the kind of pottery that you see
like
at a museum.
It looks like a plant. It looks
Yeah,
almost like a plant bulb.
yes.
Like, you know what I mean? There's like a little fish on the bottom
Oh,
side. I
exactly,
see a face or something.
exactly.
It's like a,
Fish.
you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like an underwater kind of
Yes,
scene. You don't know if it's
exactly.
a plant, if it's a shell, if it's a jelly, if it's a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
And-
got life to it.
And you take like some of my work, I began to like whales. You know, how do you bring a whale into the painting? You know, but still from a creative perspective.
Right, right.
You know, if someone wants to see what a whale looks like in the ocean, get a camera and go take a picture of that whale.
Right.
But you want to know how I see
Yeah.
Yeah.
that whale
In the
up here.
Yeah.
Let me connect with
Yeah,
it.
let me get real with that real quick.
Let me get real with it. Yes,
That's cool.
absolutely.
So if you had any, this is a hard question. It may be, maybe not. What is your favorite painting here? Your favorite work of art here in this gallery right now? What would you say is your prized possession?
Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
I
Because I don't know if you guys can see, but he's got a lot.
Yeah, there's a
There's a
lot of
lot.
art. I know
a
there's
lot
a
in
few
here,
different
man. With
camera
some of the
angles,
cut
but every camera
Over there
angle
in the
there is
cut,
art
the
over
hallway
here.
got a cut.
The whole
It's
nother
everywhere,
room
man. It's like,
we'll give you guys
So,
a
I
full
mean-
tour one day.
I mean,
That'll be
like,
a different episode in the
what would you
future.
say
Be
is
prepared for that.
your one? What's your one?
It's
Or
in
your
the-
two?
It's in the other room, but
Okay.
it's the one that you got at the dispensary.
Okay.
The gold
The
figure.
gold, the two
gold.
gold pieces. Oh,
Yeah.
those are, every time people are at the kiosk and I'm in there, I just see them looking up a little bit and getting distracted. You know what I mean? Because they're like right there at the kiosk. So they'll be doing something. Then they'll look up and they'll be like, oh. And they'll be like, oh yeah, I was doing this. You know what I mean? Or while somebody else is on the kiosk, the person next to them is just standing there staring at it like, oh, you know what I mean? So, but no, those are two really awesome pieces.
Yes.
Yeah, those are nice. They're framed beautifully too.
They are.
Yeah, I like
We'll have to get
those.
some still shots of those so you guys can see those too. They're awesome. But
Yeah, for sure.
but again, even the colors in those, even though they're